you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not enough. People are willing to take the risk. It's sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Talk for so much pain, until then again. Well, I need someone to talk to. I need someone to hear me. All the things that I'm saying, I'm staring down at you. Real talk, you know, it's hard to find. Accidental breakdown. Accidental break. I said to break down. Accidental breakdown. Accidental breakdown. Accidental break. I said to break down. Accidental breakdown. Oh, they leave you insane. Don't hate the doctor, hate the game. This talk for so much pain until that game. Well, I need someone to talk to. I need someone to hear me. All of the things that I'm saying, I'm staring down at your real talk. Ow! Accidental mental breakdown. Accidental breakdown. I say to breakdown. Accidental mental breakdown. Accidental mental breakdown. Accidental mental breakdown. I say to breakdown. Accidental mental breakdown. Real talk, you know it's hard to find. There's no one behind you. See her talking, she says to a friend, man you pretend to be. Real talk is just the number one. The hurt to be hurt, the people to die for. See her talking, she says to a friend, a man you pretend to be. Accidental mental breakdown.
Friends, the time for mediocrity and broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. Online at tonyjones.org, facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones NRI. Thank you to those that are already checking in with us here. Of course, I do monitor the social media accounts throughout the broadcast, or at least I try to, so I see some folks checking in with me, and I greatly appreciate that. We did miss you all last week as DJ Psycho Eddie, George Garner, and Miss Rhode Island Free Radio were representing Rhode Island Free Radio at TerraCon last weekend, and I got to congratulate those folks on just a fantastic, well-run, great weekend of a con. DJ Psycho Eddie was there with me. Any favorites from the convention last weekend?
I have to say Sid Haig was the my fanboy moment of the weekend.
Did you fanboy out on him?
Totally fanboy.
Now, when you had your picture taken, you weren't in clown gear yet at that point. I was not in clown
gear, but I did go. I was going to go back, and I was going back and forth because I didn't want to spend another however many dollars for another picture to be it signed, just to take a picture with him now that I have different clothes on. it just didn't make sense to me because I'm like you. I think the word is cheap. But yeah, that was my total fanboy moment. I mean, I did get a chance to spend a lot of time in the paranormal corner.
Right, yeah.
I think actually we got booked for Paracon, which is coming up.
I can't wait to do a great job at Paracon again this summer.
Yeah, I'm the one gargling honey and tea for 2 days afterwards, and you get all the credit.
I actually, by the end of last week's Terracon, I actually lost my voice by Sunday night, just from not necessarily doing any broadcasting or public addressing, but just from, for lack of a better word, bullshitting all weekend. I just lost my voice from bullshitting.
Well, you see, you're out of practice then, my friend.
Yeah.
Because I was able to talk the entire weekend, and I was able to basically yell at people again on Monday when I went back to work.
Now, what I found the most interesting from your perspective, or, kind of watching your perspective, was that the public, people there, requested, dare I say, demanded that you show up in clown gear. I mean, people were, upset that you were in your street clothes.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. I'm trying to evolve as a performer, and there's only so far you can go.
You can only de-evolve around here.
There's only so far you can go in makeup and a jumpsuit.
Right.
The only ways, the only real step forward I can make with that is if I bought a van and wrote "Free Candy" on the side. But I'm trying to evolve from that. But people expect to see the clown.
Yeah.
Well, one of the clowns, because Chuckles was there with
Chuck D was there.
Chuck D.
Yeah.
In fact, I was very surprised that they gave Nurse Misery the quote-unquote weekend off.
That's right.
But she was there the whole weekend.
I know. We could have put her to work.
I know. Free Candy Bowl. No, that's what Miss Rhode Island Free Radio
did a fine job.
She did. She handed out candy like the best of them.
Now, we will be involved in Kineticon, which is coming up in June, as DJ Psycho just mentioned, Paracon, and, of course, Rhode Island Comic-Con. And we have a bunch of other shows to talk about during this broadcast and, going into the new season. So be sure to look for us, DJ Psycho and Eddie. It's DJ Psycho, Eddie, and I. Kind of hard to miss in a public appearance. Like maybe with a car, you could miss us, but that would just ruin your car. But again, I got to thank the folks at Terracon and congratulate them on just a well-run convention, kind of a stress-free weekend for everybody there. And I got to say, my fanboy moment was seeing the Christine car. Now, it was great to see it in all its glory. At the end of the weekend, seeing it pushed out was kind of sad. You know how you should never meet your heroes? That's what I felt when I saw the owner of the Christine car pushing it out the back garage with his wife steering and flatbedding it.
Well, he got yelled at because I actually watched him. He took the air cleaner off and was priming the carburetor to start it, and they shut that down quick. The car does drive, and I have to admit, I'm very excited by cars, and I actually stared at that car for a good 45 minutes looking for a blemish on it. And I could not find a single blemish in the paint.
Yeah, that guy takes that car seriously.
I'm surprised he has a wife. That's how seriously he takes that car.
This is how seriously he takes that car. Now, if you don't know, Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, we have a song called Christine. It is a tribute to the car Christine. So our idea was to do a photo shoot with the car Christine, maybe put it out as a single. Not very receptive. You cannot touch the car. Do not lean against the car. You cannot get in the car. So George Garner had mentioned, well, what if we brought a pair of pants, a change of clothes, put on brand new clothes, and then sat in the car? Nope. Owner said no.
Well,
unhealthy obsession with Christine. Sound familiar?
Oh, a little. I can actually do one better. I witnessed our friend Ann Armstrong. She was in her full religious regalia,
yep.
And as she was swinging around branches and pointing at the car.
These branches were of marijuana, by the way.
I do not know of which you speak.
You cannot confirm nor deny the fact that she was wielding branches of marijuana.
But I can confirm that she hit the sign that was leaning on the outside of the pole and sent it far enough for the guy to jump out of his chair and almost kill her. Which...
Again, unhealthy obsession.
Yeah, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I owned the car, I would have probably
Right,
had
yeah.
the same response.
Yeah.
However, it just looks bad. You know, owner of satanic car beats religious person to death at their own
At this week,
marijuana brand.
Starricon. Tonight at 5 p.m. All right, let's get back to some music, and then we come back. We're going to talk to Mike Worm from Reckless Records. We're going to talk to Megan Casey, and we're going to talk about a big show coming up, and including we're going to spin some tunes from the big show coming up at dusk, as the Sheckies are currently out on tour. They're out on tour. Well, I got to give them credit. They're out on tour from March 3rd to March 29th. They're out there right now as we speak, and they'll be here in Providence this Tuesday, but I digress. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Before that, the local music continues now. We're going to hear from the Frenzy of Tongs, one of our favorites around here. Perfect convention music up next. This one, Doctor Who. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
I will teach you the folly of your words. I will destroy you and demonstrate the power of the knowledge. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy. Exterminate, annihilate, destroy.
It started in LA. My son did his magic with some of my tunes. I liked the sounds that I heard. It somehow struck a real deep nerve. Have to keep rolling on. Have to keep singing the song. Have to keep rolling on. Started playing everywhere. Had to keep the music going anywhere. Let the world hear what I had to say. Gotta keep the music going every day. did his magic with some of my tunes. I like the sounds that I heard. It somehow struck a real deep nerve. Have to keep going on. Have to keep singing my song. Have to keep going on. They say that music is good for the soul. Things like punk and rock and roll. That's why I had to sing my song for Marie Michelle and Brian Young. Had to keep going on. Had to keep singing my song. Had to keep rolling on. Had to keep singing my song. Had to keep rolling on. Had to keep singing my song.
Keep Rolling Long, the name of that one, The Papa Joe Show, right here on the Tony Jones Show. Before that, we heard a little Frenzy of Tongs, Doctor Who, the name of that track. And I just want to mention real quick, we kicked off this week's Tony Jones Show with some Ravi Shavi, Accidental Mental, the name of that one of my favorite tracks from Ravi Shavi. Full house this week here on the Tony Jones Show. Of course, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On Twitter @TonyJonesNRI. Go to TonyJones.org. We do check out the social media accounts throughout the broadcast. So if there's anything you'd like to hear, go ahead and get a hold of me throughout the broadcast this week. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out as we are back from a week off at Terracon. 1 week from today, that's right, next week on the Tony Jones Show, the lovely and talented Jody Jolt, and she'll also be bringing some members of the Vault, so be sure to tune in for that. I also hear we're going to take to Facebook Live with some acoustic music from Jody Jolt, so you're not going to want to miss that one. The last time Jody Jolt was in studio with me was actually like 3 years ago. We were on an AM station, and not too long after having Jody Jolt on, they fired me, so I don't know if that's just a curse of Jody Jolt, or maybe things will go well next week. But always great to have Jody Jolt in studio, and they have just a ton of shows coming up. So we'll talk about that. DJ Psycho Eddie is here. Mike is here from Reckless Records. Megan Casey is here. Full house here on the Tony Jones Show. Mike, big show coming up. How did you get mixed in with booking the Sheckies as they head out on tour and come through Providence?
They helped us out on the last couple tours in New Jersey and Philly, and then they got me a couple shows out in Ohio, so I'm kind of returning the favor for them.
It's I've had the reverse situation of that where you help someone out really solid with a show and then they kind of forget.
Yeah, that usually tends to be the case.
Bring us back to, I know we talked about it a bit last time you were here, but bring us back to your band Worm, Reckless Records, how you kind of got started in not just music as someone who's been in a band for quite some time, but also, having the DIY label.
I just started up a label a couple of years ago, probably 5 years ago, for my band Bad Movies. Put a couple other bands I'm in out on that, kind of spread it out, and booking bands, helping them with tours, all that good stuff.
So what is out of all that, and I'm thinking of, because I'm in quite a similar situation, and I think of the things mixed in that, which I like to do, and the things mixed in on that, which I don't like to do, which are booking shows.
Yeah.
But what is your kind of, your likes and dislikes of being involved in all this?
It can be a headache sometimes, but
herding cats sometimes.
It all helps spreads the music, helps everyone out.
And that, that I think everybody in this room is somehow involved in kind of that DIY work ethic of, like you said, just, starting up a label. I can just imagine the thoughts that go through people's head when they think, well, I'll just start a label and put out my own music and kind of do it that way.
Yeah, it can be easier, it can be harder. It all depends.
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth.
Yes, a lot of the time.
And herding cats. And did you book any of the other Sheckies dates or just this one in Providence?
Just Providence. They're actually playing the next night at Kodo in Salem.
And then I think today or tomorrow they're in Connecticut.
Yeah, today I think they're in Connecticut.
And I got to give them credit. Out on the road from March 3rd to March 29th.
Yeah, they usually go out for a month.
In the dead of winter. Now they're lucky this year because there's no snow on the ground, so they're not taking their lives in their own hands.
But it just got cold again
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Yeah. It's like it's brutal. But then if you head out on tour in the hot summer, that's also brutal too. So there's just kind of like one little period.
I've done both. Yeah.
There's one little period where like touring is awesome, and then there's like the rest of the year it totally
I'd say
sucks.
spring or fall, and I seem to
Yeah.
make that mistake and always book summer or winter.
Who came through not too long ago? I think it was either the Creep Show or the Coffin Cats. And before they got here to play with Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, their trailer had just got creamed on the highway, and like all their equipment got trashed. And then not too long ago, our good friend Michael Graves playing a show in Vegas. Everybody, all of his equipment was stolen. Every single. They actually took the trailer off of the truck and stole all of his equipment. I mean, that's insane to me.
That's happened with a couple bands,
Yeah.
though, that I've heard people going on tour and having their stuff stolen. And then I think one band found it in a different state. It was being sold.
If you see absolutely dirt cheap equipment available on Craigslist, be wary. Now, they also had all of their merch stolen along with that, which, for a band like Michael Graves, I mean, that's how they're eating. That's how they're...
Yeah, Graves works his ass off.
He just tours and tours and tours and then, like, takes a week off and then tours some more. He's what you call a road warrior. Well, we'll get into the specifics of the upcoming show in a bit, and we're going to talk with Megan Casey. We're going to play some tunes of hers in just a bit. But before that, we're going to hear two from the Sheckies, two older songs, two songs that I highly relate to. A double shot of the Sheckies, starting off with I Need Xanax, and then we're going to hear Paranoid together. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
Yeah, that's a good tune. I had that on. That's on the CD.
Everywhere
One for the Road, the name of that one, coming out of two from the Magunks right here on the Tony Jones Show. Highlights for Lowlifes, the name of that album, and actually it's an album that they debuted here on the Tony Jones Show a couple years back. Before that, we heard Bad Decisions, again, from the Magunks. Then last time we chatted, I brought you into a double shot of the Sheckies, two songs that I can highly relate to. I Need Xanax, the first one. The second one, Paranoid Together. You heard it all here on the Tony Jones Show because those are two bands that are playing this Tuesday at dusk, opening for the Sheckies, who are now on tour. The Magunks, the Nymphadels, yours truly, Tony Jones and the Cretin 3. And we'll be debuting our new old drummer, RJ Gregory. So RJ was in the band for quite a few years. He kind of took a step back, was in a great band called 1031, and now he is back with us. And if you go to Tony Jones Show, Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 Facebook page, you'll see a quick video we shot at practice the other night. So I got to give him credit because he just hopped right back in it and really just jumped back into the songs. Now, I can barely remember the songs, and he was able to hop back in it. And so I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you see Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 this Tuesday at dusk. And if you're old, which, well, I am, DJ Psycho Eddie, you are, Tony Jones and the Cretin 3 will be on first. So if you're old, this is a perfect opportunity to come out and see some Tony Jones and the Cretin 3.
You know, I was considering it, but unfortunately, you guys going on about, what, 8:30?
You'll already be at Fantasies by then?
I'll be in bed by then.
We got to get everybody back to the punk rock retirement home at a very
I got a new toaster koozie coming in. I have to be home when it arrives.
Got to go home and watch the Alex Trebek. So Megan Casey's here. Last time you were here, we chatted a little bit about your EP, Wolf Hour. Remind everybody about that. And actually, in a few minutes, we're going to hear two tracks off of that EP. But I got to say, you gave us all copies here, and we all absolutely loved it. And it's not really in our wheelhouse of what we usually think of music. And, I mean, we thought everybody here thought it kicked.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually, in about a month and a half, I'm going up to Manchester, New Hampshire to record a full length. So it's weird. The EP kind of feels like ancient history, even though it's only been a little bit. But, yeah, I'm excited to lay down some new tracks and move forward with it. So
is the full length kind of going to pick up where the EP left off, or are you going into kind of completely new material?
I think it's kind of new material. With Wolf Hour, a lot of the songs I had written, even some back when I was in high school, so It was kind of just laying down the groundwork and having something to jump off of from there. So really excited to have my latest stuff out there.
And I know we talked about it last time, but how did you kind of get into playing music and then branch off into kind of doing your own thing?
I think throughout high school, I was always playing guitar. I was a super shy, awkward kid. I mean, I still kind of am. More awkward than shy now. But I think once I was in college, I kept saying I really wanted to do it, and then I just decided to go play some open mics. And then from there, I was able to network. I mean, Mike's helped me out a lot with finding different shows, and kind of just went from there.
And have you seen good reception as far as getting shows, in as much as that you're doing something kind of different than your usual, punk rock scene, heavy metal scene, whatever the regular scene is?
Yeah, definitely. I think by playing out so much, I've been able to meet other people that are kind of in the punky folk Appalachian side of things. So that's definitely helped the reception and being able to find people to promote with and book shows with that's kind of in the same ballpark as what I'm doing.
It's kind of a similar story to our good friend Wolfman Chuck in the Spookalele of Doom, who went out there with his ukulele with just absolutely filthy lyrics and started doing open mics. And, the reception was very warm if people weren't offended, and he just kept it going from there. But it's kind of something just out of left field that really caught on to something really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, some of the older country stuff, I think it parallels a lot with punk. I mean, you look at people like Waylon Jennings and Hank Williams, Willie Nelson. I mean, they're kind of more on that rebellious side versus pop country today, which is a joke. Put it nicely.
And, you know, even if you go before that to some of the older blues and the double entendres of we need to say this a certain way to put it out into mainstream music, but anybody listening knows what they're really saying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's just the best way to kind of put more of acoustic, you know, blues, roots music out there, and people, it kind of clicks off into their head of it has the same ferocity of punk music or heavier music because it's all in how it's delivered. I was just talking to Eddie before he went on the air, and I think that I write some pretty good lyrics, and I listen to some of these other punk bands, and you think, like, how did they ever come up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to be friends with really talented musicians, so I try not to write right after kind of listening to their stuff because I have the same reaction. I'm like, what am I doing? But, yeah.
We're going to have up next a double shot of one of my favorite bands, and then we're going to hear some Megan Casey, and one of my favorite bands. They've been in studio with us. We're going to hear from the Nymphadels. Mike, how did you link up with the Nymphadels to have them on the Shecky Show this Tuesday?
I think you recommended them to me.
Well, I think that the Nymphadels owe me a beer.
They were the first to confirm with the show. They were all about it, so I'm looking forward to hearing them on Tuesday.
And, you know, just kind of circling back to what we were just talking about with Megan and kind of doing something a little bit different. So if you don't know the Nymphadels, and if you listen to the show, you probably do, but two-piece band, you know, Pat on drums, Jess on guitar and vocals, and just the biggest, fullest sound. And then you look on the stage and you see two people on the stage. It's, you know, completely out of left field, completely
and even
different.
Scarier, they're very small people.
Yeah, small,
big, tiny.
Like if they stood on each other's shoulders, they would be one me. You know?
Like empty vessels.
Yeah, exactly. That's like you could just make an algebraic formula of two Nymphadels equal one Cretin. But I digress. Let's hear a double shot from the Nymphadels up next. This is one of my favorite tracks from them. It's Wake Up. You heard it here on The Tony Jones Show.
I'm feeling that it's happening. Lock the door and let's stay in. I just don't know what this is that's bringing a charge. I'm feeling that it's in my bones. It makes me move, it shakes my soul. And what it is I do not know, but it's bringing me home. That's why we need a little wake up, wake me up. Been sleeping way too long. The time's right and nothing's wrong. Turn it up, turn me on. I'm tired of the jaded love that's always stuck on someone else. I just wanna feel brand new under the sun. So I'm turning all the stations on until we find our favorite song. And we won't stop, we'll sing along because the night is young. That's why we need a little wake up, wake me up. Been sleeping way too long. The time's right and nothing's wrong. Turn it up and turn me on. Wake up, wake me up. Been sleeping way too long. The time's right and nothing's wrong. Turn it up, turn me on. Wake up and wipe the sleep out from your eyes. I wanna see the dream you hide inside. Wake up and wipe the sleep out from your eyes. I wanna see the dream you hide inside.
secret to the road you face every day. Some say it's fiction, so it's a game you play. But then, silver linings, I make myself a place to stay. I'm the teeth that rip trees from roots, and I'm the soil on your foot. I'm that one undying need in the night, and you can't fight me. I'm that one warm sunny day, never come, it'll never come. I'm that warm sunny day, yeah, I'll never come. I'm the teeth that ripped you from your roots, and I'm the soil on your foot. I'm that one undying need in the night, and you can't fight me. Yeah, I'm that warm sunny day, never come, it'll never come. Yeah, I'm that warm sunny day, yeah, I'll never come. Chasing white lines up by 95 north again. Do you remember the bends and the curves of that Chesapeake River, my friend? I hear ain't no poet, the words just flow out all the same these days. When I'm hanging out my window singing, at least those hills know my name. My name, my name. Till then, baby, I'll be burning all my bridges down. I'll smoke out this whole goddamn town till you come back around. I'll be singing with all the sinners there, I'll be drinking one down. And once that whiskey hits, once that whiskey hits, I hope I hit the goddamn ground. The ground, the ground, till you come back around, back around. Come back around.
Coming out of a double shot for you. Last time we chatted, I brought you into the Nymphadels, two from those folks. Wake Up and Anchor. And then after that, we heard a double shot of two from Megan Casey, who's in studio with us, Roots and I-95. Unfortunately, we're starting to run out of time. Anything you want to tell us about those two tracks?
I think Roots was the first song that I wrote on banjo. So it's interesting to listen back, and it's probably about a year since I recorded that. But that's still one of my favorites to play. And actually, that track's going to be on the full length
Nice.
that I put out because I like it so much. But I got a couple shows coming up at Firehouse 13 on March 16th.
Ooh, one of my favorites.
Winsong and John are some of the best people I've ever met there. But I'll be playing upstairs with Rich Ferry and Frankie Ranks, and that starts at 7. And then I heard there's a show going on downstairs with Tiger Man Woe that's supposed to be
Nice.
really good. And then after that, I'm not playing until the 25th. I'm doing a tribute concert to the women of classic country. It's sponsored by Granite State of Mind Radio up in Concord. So you can find all that on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/MEAG Boston Music.
And Mike, remind us real quick about the show at dusk on Tuesday.
This Tuesday night, doors at 8, 18 plus. Dusk, we got the Sheckies on tour from New Jersey, Tony Jones and the Cretan 3.
Love them.
The Magunks, and the Nymphadels.
And
$7.
Just remember, if you're old, Tony Jones and the Cretan 3 will be on first. And DJ Psycho Eddie, real quick, I want to touch base about the big show happening around the corner here. Now, the capacity of the club is about 20 people, and they're expecting maybe 100?
Yeah, about 100, I would figure. That's the annual St. Patrick's Day party, Borowski style, at Borowski's Cafe here in beautiful West Warwick. The legendary Neutral Nation will be playing a free show along with the Trans Frats, Held Hostage, Sex Orgy Death Crash, Sons of Frankenstein, and it has been rumored that the Bad Bloods will also be making an appearance.
That's going to be nuts. I can't wait to go by and stand outside.
Yeah, that's about the only place you'll be. I mean, I think they might even do window service.
I mean, should you even attempt to elbow your way in? Or, I mean, if it's nice out,
Well, if
you can hear
if it's
everybody.
Nice out, you'll be able to hear everybody. The doors will be open anyways, just so, you know, in case someone passes gas, they don't blow out a window. But, you don't understand. The last time, literally, I was standing there watching the band, and the guitar neck was passing my nose by like half an inch, like just waving in front of my face. But the sound was awesome. The vibe was like really cool. Everyone was just gets along with each other, and cheap beer.
Probably
cheap
the-
beer
There you
free
go.
show. Can't go wrong with
Probably
cheap
the
beer.
only St. Patrick's Day event where a fight does not break out.
No, because it's like old home week. You know
Yeah.
everybody there. Most of the people that go are in bands
From
that
this
you work
neighborhood.
with or from this neighborhood, and they're just too drunk to throw a punch.
All right, we got to get out of here. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. At Tony Jones NRI on Twitter. TonyJones.org. RIFreeradio.org. Eddie, Mike, Megan, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
And of course, you're always welcome here. Our door's always open, especially when you bring pizza. We're going to leave with a little bit of 1031. And actually, Kate from 1031 has an art show coming up at Firehouse 13 on March 8th, the day after the Shecky show. She'll think about checking that out. And then they're booking a show we'll talk about in April. It's going to be called Rock Out for Leukemia. I don't have time to get into it all here, but Tony Jones and the Cretan 3 are playing. And we'll talk about that later. But let's leave with some 1031 off of the EP Trick or Treat. This is Hand That Feeds. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Evil thoughts are not the same. Evil dudes you cannot blame. Ride the tide, but you can't hide. Seek the truth from deep inside. Hold the side, but will not tell. Hold the side, but will not sell. Ride the tide of lullaby. Seek the truth from deep inside. Do
From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
Well, I was born right from the devil's head. He said, well, I ain't never gonna be lonely again. I need me a partner, and I'll need her in red. She'll be the finest thing you see, and I'll be the only thing she believes. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be your girl. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too. Do the devil's work and I'll do it for free. As long as you can always love a girl like me. Call me sin and I've been waiting for you to. Tempt and desire, so it's just a brush of fire. Well, don't be scared. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be all yours. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be losing me too. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too.
All right, that was Megan Casey, Girl Named Sin. This is DJ Psycho Eddie. You're listening to My Night Out Radio, only on RI Free Radio, basically because no one else will have us. Thank you for tuning in. In studio tonight, we have a great show. We have Mr. Tony Jones making me sound oh so sexy.
The sweet, sweet sounds of DJ Psycho Eddie here on Rhode Island Free Radio.
But wait, there's more.
Full house.
That's right. We have a full house. We have Mike Worm. He's here to promote a show coming up in, what, about
couple
3-4
nights,
days?
yeah.
Yeah, next week. The Sheckies are in town along with Tony Jones, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Also, we have Megan Casey, the one you just heard. She's going to be talking about going back into the studio. But first, I got to do my my typical let's talk about food because I'm a fat guy thing.
You know, speaking of food and the upcoming show, the Sheckies, a band that makes us look thin.
You know, you have to admire that for no other reason than anyone that can make me look thin. That's a beautiful thing. But starting off, I have to talk about Sura in Johnston. It's a place I've talked to quite a bit. You know, it's the Korean barbecue. You cook your own food right there in front of you, or if you're lazy like me, you just wait for the waitress or whatever. They come over, they see you're lazy, and they'll do it for you.
Damn.
I can't even tell you how many chickens and cows and whatever died on that grill the other day, but it was so good. Have you guys had Korean barbecue? You know, cooking.
No.
You got to go. It's absolutely fabulous. As long as you get a good place, it's absolutely fabulous. And of course, kimchi and everything else. It's well worth it. And then I have a word of warning. You know,
Oh no.
as you know, I go to restaurants, and I repeat myself when I find a restaurant that I like. Well, every now and then you have a restaurant that falls out of favor. You know, it's not as good as it used to
Yeah.
be. And well, I found that today, and I almost don't want to say the name, but I do want to say the name because it just. The first time I went, I am a complete sucker when it comes to brunch. You know,
Me too.
wake up late, have eggs. Oh, wait, I can drink with this?
Mimosas? Yep.
Oh, no, I was doing Bloody Marys this morning. And I got to
okay.
say, the Bloody Marys were still very good. A lot of spice, the way I like them. A lot of vodka, the way I like them. However, the first time I went, they used to literally cover 2 rooms with the brunch buffet.
Damn.
And they would, the typical breakfast, eggs, sausage, ham, but they would also throw out prime rib. They would throw chicken piccata, some fish dish, some eggs Benedict. And I would just go crazy because I love all this stuff, and I have to have a little bit of everything. And by the time you're done, you're waddling out, half drunk, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, slowly, as time went on, this place would take one of the things off the menu, then another thing. And then I went today, and they literally, it's not even half the size it used to be. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. How much food do you really need on a Sunday to soak up the alcohol from Saturday? But it wasn't even that good anymore. You know, Tony, I'm going to go against my better judgment. I'm going to throw it out there.
It was that bad, huh?
It was that bad. I have to give you the warning. Paragon on Thayer Street.
Okay.
Now, this used to be one of my go-to places for brunch, and now, after today, they will not see me again. Probably because my picture will be on the door and they won't let me in anymore. But I cannot bring myself to go there anymore just because of the last 2 or 3 times I've been there. It's gone downhill.
Now, was the term "you be here for hour" used as you left the establishment?
No. I mean, I only had 2 plates, and even at that, it's all you can eat buffet. There's no need to heap your plate because by the time you get to the last thing on the plate, it's cold, unless it's Danish and it's supposed to be cold, and by then it's warm. But just the discussion I heard from some of the people that were there, they were talking about putting more of the Danish and pastries out, and they're like, "Well, I just could go out of the basement and thaw it out."
Ugh.
Yeah. So morbid curiosity got the best of me.
Things you don't want to overhear at a restaurant.
Yeah, let me thaw out a Danish.
From the basement.
Let me pick the rat hair out of that for you.
And the best part is, it's like almost $20, $21 a person for thawed out pastry and eggs. I could do that at home for a lot cheaper, and I got a handle of Tito's. It's just wait. I can do this at home.
You can pull into Dunkin' and get that.
Exactly, and with less rat hair, actually.
Slightly less.
We're splitting hairs. So that, those are the 2 announcements. I don't even say recommendations because I really cannot recommend Paragon at all anymore.
A non-recommendation.
Anti-recommendation. But Sura in Johnston, I can't even think of the road it's on right now, but you can't miss it. It's a bright orange building, and they actually have karaoke rooms in the back, true to the form of, the Asian experience. You can eat yourself stupid with all the Korean barbecue, and then go sing karaoke with a bunch of people that are just waddling their way into
a bunch
it.
of Asian businessmen.
That's dangerous.
So, that being said, the other big thing, the reason we weren't here last week was Terracon. Now, I don't know about you, Tony, but I had a blast.
It was a great weekend. It was one of those weekends where there was no slow moment in the 2.5 days we were there.
Yeah, no, it was a very steady run, but it wasn't mobbed. Where like I could move around freely without having to oh, excuse me, pardon me. But
stepped on your kid.
Excuse me, sir. I think your kid is stuck under my shoe. No, I had a great time. I got to, the one fanboy moment I had was Sid Haig, and I actually got him to do the line from Devil's Reject. Excuse me, ma'am, I have important top secret clown business, which supersedes it, and he did that line, and I just total fanboy, geeked out on it. I got his autograph. That's going to be going up on the wall shortly. Again, all the paranormal people, Ken DaCosta, he was great. He actually invited us back down for Paracon this year, which I'm looking forward to not getting credit for that.
Which, by the way, if you missed any of our coverage, if you go to any of our social media accounts, the videos are all archived there. So if you want to check in on what we were up to last weekend, Eddie provided some great coverage both in and out of Clown Gear. Now, there's a very special shout-out that I need to give here on this show for last weekend's Terracon, and that is to your wife, Debs, who kept us fed all weekend. I ate like a king.
Well, if you look at me, if you ever seen me at all, or even just listen to me, I'm not a small guy. And there's a reason for that. My wife does love to cook, and every time she cooks, she doesn't cook for just the two of us. If she's cooking for 2, you got to make at least enough for 10, just in case the whole neighborhood stops by, which no one ever comes over to my house anyways.
Now, I get there at about 7:30 in the morning, and George Garner is tearing into calzones, and I realize that since he works third shift, that was supper for him at 7:30 in the morning.
My wife asked what she wanted me to make, and she was ready to do all these fancy dishes. Look, we're going to be sitting at a table that we really can't put any food on because we don't want anyone sneezing, coughing, or spitting on it. So something you can use, wrap in foil or whatever, and just eat out of your hand. And my wife came out with 4, 2 for each day, but 4 very unique calzones, and she made cookies.
Oh.
Because, we're not fat enough from the calzones and all the soda. We need a couple dozen cookies, which I made a lot of friends at the Sunday when we were cleaning up the last hour. I was just walking around giving cookies to people because I did not want to come home with cookies because then my wife would get offended that we didn't eat all the cookies.
Can't do that.
Nothing, better than a just clown walking around giving away free cookies.
And I do have to give a shout out for everyone who demanded that I come in clown gear because
the public has spoken.
It's one of those things.
They were down with the clown.
They were. I mean, people who are you? You could honestly see a difference. Like the first day, I was just in street gear, my glasses, a nice shirt, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing?" The clown was there. People were geeking out. They were having a great time, joking around with people, and it's a very noticeable difference when I'm in character.
Kind of like the difference in the 2 days when we had Miss Rhode Island Free Radio at the table or 3 dudes at the table.
Well, we had 3 dudes at the table both days. Miss RI Free Radio definitely was the rose amongst the thorns.
She upped the factor of the table, that's for sure.
So I want to thank Brianna, and I will make sure she hears that. I will thank you very much for coming down, Brianna. She's expressed her interest in coming down to all the functions that we do, provided we can get her in. Stuff her under your jacket or something. We can get her in, no problem.
I'll sit on her shoulders.
With that being said, why don't we cut to some more music, and then we will get to talking with Mike and Megan. We're going to leave here with a little bit of Adapter, and we'll be back in a minute.
coming. She started running. Oh man, I offer to you my soul. You're running over hot coals. Oh man, yeah, oh man, I thought you were a blessing, and then I caught you messing. Yeah, oh man, you ain't got no feelings. I get you dirty dealing. Evil woman, you hear me? I'm begging. Evil woman, the law's gonna wreck you. Oh man, when you whisper to me, all the hurt you do me.
All right, my Night Outers. That was Blindside Thunder. My Baby Loves to Dance. Before that was Adapter, Evil Woman. And as I stated when we first started off, we had Megan Casey in studio. She started off the show, Girl Named Sin. Megan, tell us a little bit about Girl Named Sin. Is this like a reflective upon yourself? Or?
I mean, I guess you could say that. I'm actually, it's really lame when I go to like explain the song because I was an English major and I actually base this off of Paradise Lost.
Okay.
So when the devil's talking about sin, he talks about how he like birthed this idea from his head. And I kind of took that in like a romantic sense and just kind of went from there. But it's a little reflective of myself, yeah.
No. and now you've got some things in the works right now that we were talking about off the air. Do you want to let everyone know what's going on?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm going into the studio for my full length finally. Within this month, I'm hoping to have a big release for June, but I'm going to keep it under wraps for now. But yeah, I'm excited to go back in the studio and kind of work on more current stuff.
And for those of you who don't remember, Megan and Mike were in studio last August, August.
Yeah, I think
somewhere
August,
there.
yeah.
It was warm. That's all I can really remember. We were drinking. It was fun.
Nicer
It was
than
a
now.
different season.
Yeah.
We didn't have 4 jackets on to get into the building. But they came in, and that's when she dropped her EP, and that song came off of. And now, Mike, yeah, we're jumping back and forth really quick here because I got a lot of music tonight, but I do want to get everyone involved here. You got a show coming up next week.
Yeah, this Tuesday at dusk.
Now, I hear you're starting off with the cream of the crop, and you're only getting better.
Tony Jones and the Cretin 3.
Well, besides
onto the
that.
Magunks. And we got the Sheckies, who are on tour from New Jersey. They'll probably be their 3rd day or 4th day on tour, coming from New Jersey with their new album, Going on a Diet Again. They'll play in, and the Nymphadels are closing down the house Tuesday night at dusk, 8 p.m. 18 plus, $7.
$7 to get in, and if you're old like me, you're probably only going to catch Tony Jones because Matlock comes on at 8:30, 8:45.
Oh yeah.
Murder, She Wrote, and then bedtime.
The Golden Girls.
Well, if we talk about the Golden Girls, Claire passed away not that long ago. Betty White's the only one left, I think.
I don't think she'll ever die.
Oh no, she
might be on Keith Richards status.
She is a tough old bird, man. So now I got to ask, how did you even manage to get Sheckies onto the bill?
They asked me.
They asked you.
No, they hooked us up a couple of years back on tour, so kind of returning the favor for them.
So when they hooked you up, you're referring to your band, the
My
Worms.
band, Worm, yep. We went on tour 2 summers ago. They hooked us up in New Jersey and Ohio, and they've hooked us up with shows before that they didn't play. They just sent me in the right direction, so
Oh, cool.
kind of helping them out on their tour this time around.
So can you get any background on the on the bands that are playing? Have you worked with all these bands before, or
Nymphadels are new. I think I've done a couple of shows with the Magunks before. I've known Tony for a while. Done a show with him, I think, back in the day, maybe. And
Back before we had gray hair.
yeah,
back in my day, because Pepperidge
And the
Farm
Sheckies.
remembers. So we actually got a few more good shows coming up in the upcoming weeks, which I'll talk about probably a little bit later on in the show. Aside from the Shecky show, what else do you have in the works? What else you coming up with, or are you just...
I'm starting to book some shows for the spring now. Nothing solid yet, but working towards it.
And what area? You're going to stay Rhode Island, Mass, or you going to try to go on tour?
I'd like to go on tour again, but that's not up to me. That's up to the other band members.
All right. Well, why don't we cut to some music? I'll figure out, because as everyone knows, I am so prepared. I was going through Facebook right before we started chatting to figure out what I was going to talk about. But I can make myself sound so professional, but I'm letting you take a little peek behind the curtain right now. We're going to leave here with a band that is actually going to be on that bill. Magunks, right?
Magunks.
Hey! Wow, I did some research. Go figure. The name of the song is Halfway to Hell. It's the Magunks. You're listening to My Night Out Radio. We'll be back in a minute.
We're rolling around we go.
right, my Nightos, that was Kilgore. The name of that song was Senorita Beefeater. Before that, we had 30 Silver, Sinister Man Have At Thee. And we started off that 3-play with the McGunks, Halfway to Hell. Now, I'm going to flash back a little bit to our Terracon experience. And, you know, whenever we're at a convention or whatever, we put up a sign that says, you know, if you're interested, we'll help you, we'll show you, we'll get you started, we'll help you produce a show. And we never really put rubber to the road until, well, I gotta thank George for this one. Mr. George Gorner actually started inviting people down to the studio. Now, you know, if anyone's listening and is interested in coming down to the studio and checking out what we do, how we do it, and who knows, maybe even getting starting your own show, you might want to hit us up, mynightoutradio@verizon.net. I can get you in touch with the management, a.k.a. Mr. Tony Jones.
I'm not only the CEO, I'm also the janitor.
and you know, it's one of those things that you say that and people think you're joking. But, you know, today when I came in, he was taking out the garbage. Yeah. Which we thank you so much for that, Tony. Also, mynightoutri.com for all your upcoming events. If you want to do some promotions with us, you might want to hit us up again, mynightoutradio@verizon.net. Look us up on Facebook, /MyNightOut. Twitter and Instagram, DJ Psycho Eddie, and you can get me directly. Also, My Night Out RI, and it'll filter through to me. I can't thank you guys enough for coming down. You know, I always have a blast.
Thank you.
I like talking about the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do talk a little bit excessively about food around here. Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, hell no. But now the listeners heard the pop of a can. And we got to tell them what kind of a can, because normally it's me opening a bottle or a can, and I'm like, well, I'm going to enjoy a beverage. What can did you just open up?
Miller High Life. I'll be living the low life in the morning.
Hey, champagne of beers.
Well, that's how you could tell we're on internet radio, not terrestrial radio, AM, FM. Because,
FM.
Because if you did that, that would be an FCC fine. No FCC here. Yet.
They haven't been able to censor the internet yet.
They're working on it, though.
They're working on it.
They are trying.
Remember when the Nymphadels showed up with a bottle of cheap champagne a couple months back?
Yeah. And we have like 2 or 3 more in the fridge. So, moving forward from here. Megan, you have any shows coming up that you're planning?
I do. I'm actually really excited. I have a Firehouse 13 show on the 16th. So to kick off your St. Paddy's Day weekend. It'll be upstairs at 7. I'm playing with Rick Ferry and Frankie Ranks. And then following that downstairs, there's a great show with Tiger Man Woe and a bunch of other bands. So Firehouse 13 always has a good ticket to a good time.
Firehouse 13 was home of, well, George Gorner's bachelor party.
That's
actually.
true, yep.
So if the floor is sticky...
Oh, God.
That's why. It's only from fake blood.
Okay, sure.
No, actually, at George Gorner's bachelor party, I managed to catch one of the... I can't believe I'm going to say this, and it sounds very disgusting, but it's not as bad as it really...
Now, just remember, your mother could be listening to this.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. How you doing? She's going to post something up on Facebook in a minute about this anyways. But Wolfman Chuck had played, and it was, you know, he put on an awesome set. And at some point, I'm guessing it was Wolfman Chuck, because little plastic fetuses soaked in artificial blood started flying around the room.
Sounds about right.
Well, I had caught one. So I had this artificial blood on my hand. Well, as bachelor parties normally go, I ended up at a strip club later. And now...
That probably didn't go over too well.
I had been drinking, so I really didn't notice the artificial blood stain on my hand. I did not have the fetus with me. I left that back.
Oh, good.
I didn't want to cause any flashbacks for anyone else. So as I'm walking in, the door guy, who is also the manager, a good friend of mine, It's like, look, Ed, if you're looking for an alibi, we'll give you one. But can you wash that off your hands?
He was here all night, folks.
It's funny when you say it now, but at the time, it's like, oh crap, I'm drunk and there's blood on my hand. What did I do?
Could you imagine if anybody got pulled over on the way home for that from that show, just covered in fake blood?
Well, if you remember, one of the performers from that evening, Acacia Salih, she got locked out of her car.
That's right, yeah.
And she was, to say the least, borderline on half naked.
Yeah.
On a side street in Providence after hours.
Covered in fake blood.
And not slinging drugs.
And not wearing any shoes.
Yes.
It's like an SVU episode waiting to happen.
And I think that was the first time she had a nip slip in any of her performances. Yeah. And the best part was her mom was in the audience.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, her mom was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Only in Providence can this stuff happen, and we could talk about it jokingly now, but I know there's people somewhere listening to this saying, holy crap, we're listening to Satanists. We don't follow him, we're just good friends, that's all. Well, I did promise you upcoming events, and I have two really big upcoming events that I have to tell everyone about. First one, March 18th, at Borowski's Cafe in beautiful West Warwick. The legendary, the Hall of Fame inducted Neutral Nation will be playing a free show at Borowski's. March 18th, doors are at 11 a.m. Music starts at 12.
Doors are when?
11 a.m.
That's early, man.
Oh, that's insane.
You cannot drink all day unless you start early. And I know for a fact there will be a few people pre-gaming that show.
Now, I know, DJ Psycho Eddie, that you're now an Uber driver.
Yes.
We could probably make a few bucks by also turning this space into an Airbnb for anybody that needs to sleep it off after leaving Borowski's. You could drive them right over here. We could put them to bed, and they could leave in the morning.
Not enough mop, bucket, or squeegees to clean the amount of puke and other stuff that's going to come flying out. No. If you want to be the janitorial staff on the day after that, you go right ahead. I don't want anything to do with that. But also, in addition to Neutral Nation, we have the Transfats, a reunion for the Transfats. Held Hostage, Sex Orgy Death Crash, and Sons of Frankenstein. And it has been rumored Bad Blood will be also making an appearance. Now, that's March 18th. March 25th, I'm doing... the Tattoo and Music Festival at FET. Now, this is the third incarnation. There's like 20 some odd bands, and I'm going to run through them as quickly as I can. You ready? See if I can do it all in one breath.
Let's go.
Ready. Productive Member, Young Other, Fate's Last Fight, Mirror's Embrace, Hemlock, Potsy, Woodchipper Demise, Another One Down, Fathom Farewell, Apollo's Resurrection, 6 Foot Silence, Firstborn. That's only on the lounge stage. In the main ballroom, you're going to have Beast of Nod, Ashes of Agony, Depraved Within, Travel Amadalia, Barbarian, Kingsman, Shred of Salvation, Death Rattle, Bloodline Theory, Blood Riders, Revocation, and Bury Your Dead.
Bury Your Dead.
Holy cow.
Did that with one breath.
Is that a Sunday, like an afternoon show? Or
That is a full-day show. Doors are at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Damn.
And it's going till like 1, 2 in the morning.
Until they sell out of hot wieners.
Actually, there will also be a brackish fetish show going on in between the bands. There will be Dr. Finnegan's Sideshow Circus will be emceeing and performing stunts.
Any burlesque?
What part of brackish fetish did you not get? They will be definitely strutting their stuff. Now, this is a tattoo and music festival. So we're going to have Suited Devils. One of the sponsors. There's going to be 5 others. You got Suited Devil, Irish Rose, Heavy Mental Tattoo, Great Island Tattoo, and Dharma Ink Tattoo will be doing tattoos and piercings on site. Tickets you can get through the Fat Box office or any of the bands that I mentioned. You may want to play that back at a slower speed so you can understand some of the ones. But I will be DJing the main ballroom that night. And I'm going to be busting out some songs that I haven't played in quite a while and some new stuff that I've never played before.
And if you're really getting into the day, you can wander across the street to Shelter and play classic pinball games in
That's
between
actually-
bands.
It's not even across the street. If you cut through the ballroom at
Yeah.
FET, you end up at Shelter.
What a great! How can you beat FET, a club with classic arcade games and Oneyville System hot wieners?
I mean,
I would never have to leave that neighborhood.
I'm actually thinking about parking permanently in the parking lot over there.
Own off a spot for yourself.
Now, if you're going to get there, please get there early. The parking is extremely limited. My battle wagon will definitely be valeted that night because it's just too big to leave it on the street. It'll be plugging everything up.
Plus, junkies will be living in it by the end of the night. This place is sweet.
Well, why don't we cut to a couple of bands that have actually played the Borowski's show in previous years. The first one we're going to leave here with is The Frenzy of Tongues.
Yes.
The name of the song is Kyle. We'll be back in a minute. Kyle. Waiting for the finger. There we go. There's the finger.
That's what she said.
And you have a very large and attractive finger, might I add. That was Held Hostage, We Will Rise. Before that, Frenzy of Tongues. The name of the song was Kyle. Two awesome bands that I stumbled upon.
Literally.
Stress on the word stumbled. At the Borowski's St. Patrick's Day matinee, March 18th. It's going to be this year. You want to check that out. Just a quick recap, Megan.
Yes.
If we wanted to hear more from you, how would we do this?
Well, I actually just put up a SoundCloud, which was a big thing for a person that partakes in the finer things in life. But soundcloud.com/MEAG Boston. You can also find me at Facebook, MEAG Boston Music. And yeah, come follow the fun.
Cool. And now, Mike, if someone wanted to follow you, you're on Facebook, right?
Yeah, Facebook.com/Reckless Records with a W for the rec, a W for the
for records,
and a C for the chords.
Make it easier. Why don't we just put up a link on my site? So they can
Yeah, that's probably easier too.
Yeah, we'll be putting up a link on.
You can find me on Facebook at Mike Worm with 2 Ks.
And you, if someone wanted to follow the Worm, is it Worm or the Worms?
Worm is on Facebook. Bad Movies is on Facebook. My newest band, The Mother Boys, is on Facebook. MySpace, Reverb Nation, Bandcamp,
Wow,
punkrockers.com.
You're spreading out worse than herpes, man.
Yeah.
And of course, this is DJ Seiko. You can get me MyNightOutRadio at Verizon.net for if you want to get in touch with me. If you want to submit some music, if you want to just come on the air, just check it out, sit in the background, and just watch us, see us do what we do.
Or if you need a ride.
Yeah, that's true. I am an Uber driver. I'm actually working on trying to get a few other Uber drivers because, I mean, I could talk till I'm blue in the face and, you know, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I want to get a couple of drivers that have been doing it for a while. I think I'm going to, put my reach out, see if I can get anyone in here to talk about some very unique.
Yeah, I want to hear the horror stories.
Yeah, me too.
the ride from hell where they 14 people puked in a little Suburban.
I want to hear of more stories about stuff that's been offered up for tips too.
Being a married man, I cannot talk about that personally. But thank you for listening, everybody. We're going to leave here with Brunt of It first, and then some Shed. First off, Brunt of It, the name of the song, Manic Depression, and then Shed, Watermark. Thank you for listening, everybody. Have a good night.